The final weekend of the regular season in the CAA, and we've got two games for you tonight on LSN, both with tournament implications. We start in Newark, Delaware, the top team in the league standings, the 14th-ranked Blue Hens, hosting UMass, the Minutemen, hoping for a postseason clinching win on the road here in our CAA Game of the Week. Here's a look at what's at stake entering tonight in the CAA standings. Delaware Drexel feeling pretty good, relatively safe looking ahead to next week's semifinals. UMass, Hofstra, Towson, all battling for the final two spots. Top four teams make Thursday's semifinals. So with that, we welcome you. Alongside the Beast, Greg Gurenlian, I'm Travis Eldridge. Greg, everything to play for those three teams in the 3, 4, and 5 spots entering this weekend.
Yeah, we know the speech that the coaches are going to give. It's just another game, but it's not another game. It's one of the biggest games of the season. It's going to completely define how this season ends. So we know emotions will be high. That won't be the problem. The question is going to be which team can execute while the emotions are running high. And the team that can execute the best coming out of the gates is going to win this one.
And we got some star players leading both of these squads. We start on the UMass side of things. This team goes as Jeff Traynor in the midfield will take them.
The highest scoring midfielder in program history. Jeff Traynor is elite. He can get to the rack. Every single defender's eyes are going to be on him when he starts his dodge.
On the Delaware side of things, once again, it's Charlie Kitchen, the Tuorton nominee, entering today 6th in the NCAA in points per game.
He is a scoring machine, and he's one of the cogs in a very well-oiled machine for the Delaware Blue Hens. He can score in a million different ways. He's going to draw slides. He's also going to draw a lot of attention. So the backside can be open. If he chooses to turn into a feeder, he can do it easily, and he makes it all look like he's not even trying. So he's a really impressive athlete.
So the man that's going to try to stop this potented offense for Delaware is this guy, Matt Note, one of the best goalies in the conference throughout this season. Goals against average just over 10. He's 4-4 so far. The sophomore stepped in, has been a Game 1 starter since his freshman year a year ago. On the opposite side, it's the senior Matt Kilkiri. In his first year as a starter, it's been a good year as a starting goalie. 10.27 goals against average. He's 9-2 here in 2021, and he will be in cage once again for the Blue Hens. At the face-off X, Zach Hockman battling against Jake Hervada. An interesting matchup, Greg, that we look at, especially with Hockman and a little bit more of it, the athleticism he brings to the table.
Yeah, UMass is going to have a massive advantage on ground balls after sloppy face-offs. If they can just make sure it's not a clean win for Delaware, they're going to be in a good spot because Hockman has the ability to turn a loose ball scrum into transition offense in a hurry.
Oh, we've got a whistle on that loose ball scrum that looks to give it to the Blue Hens. So Delaware will get the first offensive possession of today. It's Charlie Kitchen, the man we mentioned in the open. And we got a penalty right off the face-off. Only took us 12 seconds.
Yeah, it looked like it was some kind of illegal body check during the loose ball there.
So a man up for the Blue Hens for the first time here today as they get their first offensive possession. Kitchen working from X, skip pass out top, shot high.
You're going to see on this exactly why Delaware's got such a potent offense and a man up. The ball will never stop moving, and they keep it hot, and every attackman and offensive player has great vision.
This is Ty Kurtz with it, top of the box, swings it to Michael Robinson. All three attack players at the top of this man-up unit. Accioni dodges, now feeds back out top. Robinson from the wing, and he scores! Mike Robinson, one of the best scorers in the country so far this year, strikes first for Delaware.
And we talked about it before, during the beginning of this man up. Delaware's offense almost looks like controlled chaos. The ball moves so fast, and they're constantly getting it hot. They're forcing the defense to rotate, and Robinson decides, I'm just going to go with the okey-doke. Little toe drag, come around, and then he shoots it around the sliding defender, so the goalie has no idea where that ball is. Unbelievable offense right there.
Mike Robinson with his 40th goal of the season. Got Hockman going early, so another possession here for Delaware.
Jake Hervada will cause that on faceoffs because his hand speed is so fast and he's good at popping it forward. The opposition needs to make sure they're going right on the whistle, and he will draw some earlies.
It's a Delaware team that has lost just one game in the CAA. That came to Drexel a couple of weeks ago, back on April 10th. In talking with Coach Ben DeLuca this week, he said maybe a little bit of a wake-up call. They'd gotten away with some slow starts at different points, as Robinson sends it just high. They'd gotten away with some slow starts. We saw it against Fairfield a couple of times, against Towson, and they escaped with victories. Well, it finally caught up to them against a very good Drexel team. But since then, Delaware putting a beat down there as Kitchens behind the back pass kind of stuck in his stick for a little bit. A beatdown of Towson last week. An emphatic victory against the Tigers. This is Kitchen battling in. Shot was blocked. Robinson on the rebound. A pair for Robinson in the first 2 minutes.
This is great stuff. Like you said, Delaware doesn't want to start off slow. Coach DeLuca made a great point. You always learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And their talent has gotten them over the top enough times where they win and they feel confident. So he knew they had to get off to a good start, get this offense that is an absolute nightmare for any team to deal with, get them hot, get them feeling good. Robinson scoring. Obviously, they're going to score off of good offense, but when you have them scoring off of garbage goals, like this loose ball right here, too, it's going to be really hard to keep up with them today.
UMass finally gets a face-off, and we'll get to see this Minutemen offense for the first time today. It's a UMass team that comes in after a victory over Fairfield. That snapped a 3-game losing streak for the Minutemen. Hung 21 points on the Stags, 21 goals, which was a much-needed offensive output for UMass, who struggled a bit. And a couple of 1-goal losses to Hofstra and Drexel before the 3-goal loss to Towson. This is Devin Spencer, part of the starting attack unit for UMass. Spencer dodges, sends it behind. Out top to Billy Philpott. Step down shot for him, and Philpott with an answer for the Minutemen. Cuts the lead in half.
And we've watched enough UMass games this season to know that when they keep the ball hot, they have enough speed to get that quick dodge shot. And everybody up top, all the middies on UMass can crank it. So if they're getting the space they need to clear their hands off of ball movement, they're going to be able to hang in this game, and they're going to be able to put up points.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. This UMass midfield, when Philpott and Trainer and Kevin Tobin are getting it going offensively, especially those step-down shots or the shots on the run, that's when this team is really dangerous. We saw it last year in the upset against Yale.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they have good goaltending. And we were talking also about Delaware starting off hot. Not only is it important for them to get on the scoreboard, but they've got to make those shots count because UMass is insanely dangerous out of transition. Coach DeLuca was talking about their two-way midfield, how they will have guys transition right out of that save, and they'll come down and make you pay for it. So Delaware had their offensive middies playing a lot of defense throughout the week to prepare for this game. So if you have UMass scoring their goals in their six-man offense, you add that to their transition, and it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of fireworks.
This is Dylan Arat, the freshman who's had a really good first year on campus. 18 goals so far. Now Trainer with a short stick. Tried to find Arat. Pass was low. The freshman scoops it up to keep it alive for UMass. This is Trainer. On the run, Trainer shoots it wide.
They're going to have to be really smart, Delaware, on their screenplay. Trainer just showed how effortless, if you aren't hedging on that pick, how effortlessly he can get a shot down the alley. There's a reason he's going to be playing in the PLL.
Yeah, Trainer, a third-round pick by the Archers in the PLL draft back on Monday night.
Like that offense needed any more weapons.
Yeah, and I was thinking you add Trainer to, they drafted an LSM out of Virginia, and then you add him to Scott Ratliff. That makes up a pretty good face-off unit with a lot of different options there.
Oh, yeah.
This is Kitchen. Robinson, now Ty Kurtz, who's the third wheel of that terrific attack unit. Kitchen, Kurtz, and Robinson combining to average 15 points per game. Kitchen battles in, shot wide. Didn't have a lot on it, but Robinson able to track down the rebound. Still 20 seconds on the shot clock. Matt Accioni, the freshman midfielder, to Robinson, back up top, shot high.
What's so cool about Delaware's offense, the reason everyone's putting up points is because Coach DeLuca has instilled his system, but not just his system, but his culture. No one cares about who's going to score the goal. The point of the matter is to move the ball until the open man gets his chance. And that's why it looks so effortless, because the ball's always moving. The only time they get in trouble is if somebody tries to get to 5-and-5 and just over-dodge. As long as they stay away from that, they're going to be able to score pretty much at will.
Shot clock violation there on the Blue Hens. You don't see that a lot with Delaware. They find a way to get a shot on frame at some point in the first 80 seconds, more often than not. Yeah. Some issues there in the clear, but Adam Toohey makes a nice play. And the close defenseman scoops it to the offensive midfielders here for UMass.
And if you notice how quickly Delaware got in, their middies were at the top of the box well before that clear was finished. So you can see the point of emphasis from practice this week taking place.
Yeah, get back. Let's not give him anything easy.
Yeah.
This is Mike Tobin. Now back to Mike's brother Kevin, who works at X, coming off a career best 9 points last week against Fairfield.
Yeah, the Tobins are speed on top of speed.
Mike into the middle, and it's the Tobin connection again. The little bro finds the big bro, and we're tied at 2.
You know, how many games have we called, Trav, where we've seen the Tobin brothers make a play where only two brothers would be this in sync? To dodge, drawing the slide, and literally look back to know your brother's making that curl. I mean, that's just that's the intuition that you get from living in the same household.
Yeah, that's the stuff you draw up in the backyard when you're 12, 13 years old that ends up paying off when you're 19 and 20.
Yep.
So back-to-back 2-goal runs to start this thing as Delaware had a 2-0 lead. We're now tied up. Face-off win, but a collision by Hockman, and he gets it back.
And that's why Fidel and his staff love this kid. Technically, he's a little raw still, but he just never stops.
Ball is still loose. What a battle off of this face-off. Delaware had possession. UMass took it back, and the Blue Hens grab it once more.
Yeah, if you can out-transition battle UMass, then things are going to look good for you during the game because you're taking away one of their biggest strengths.
So the Blue Hens ultimately do get the possession. Bring on a couple of the second midfielders. Justin Scott in there, along with Kyle Kavinsky. On the run, Nick Jessen shot off the bar. That resets the shot clock to 80. The Blue Hens keep possession.
If you're going to dodge down the alley on note and you're going to shoot without it being assisted, it better be the perfect placement because he is all over those shots.
This is Jessen on the wing. Back to Kitchen. Has his man hung up. Battling with Sam Eisenstadt for UMass. Kitchen draws the double. And the pass too high for Mike Robinson.
Not a bad idea there. Not a bad idea to switch the fields and get it to the backside. Just, an errant throw. But I really like the idea of ball movement, getting it to the other side of the field and keep UMass rotating. Something
to keep an eye on. You can hear it on the microphone. It is windy. It's windy all up and down the East Coast here today, but it's windy in Newark, Delaware. Something that maybe affects some of the longer passes.
Yeah, you're right. Not only will it affect the longer passes, but even more importantly, it'll affect communication. Your voice on defense, whoever your quarterback is, getting lost back there when they're calling out slides.
UMass will take a timeout to keep possession. We'll take one as well. We're tied at 2, 6:52 to go in the first. Back here on a windy Friday evening in Newark, Delaware Stadium, where the Blue Hens and UMass Minutemen are tied up at 2. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you just over the midway point of this first quarter. Greg, we hit on it at the beginning, but when you look at the CAA standings, this game is gigantic for UMass. You come in 4-3, you win, you get to 5-3, you're in. You have taken care of business, you're in the top 4, and you're playing in the CAA semifinals on Thursday. You lose, and there's a possibility you end up tied with Towson and Hofstra all at 4-4, and then then you're leaving it up to somebody else's hands.
Yeah, there is no worse feeling in sports than not being able to handle business and hope you can back your way into the tournament. So you really want to get it done. Obviously, everyone knows that, but that adds a certain layer of anxiety to the coaching staff and the players.
UMass keeps possession coming out of the timeout. By the way, we'll see Hofstra in a must-win situation later on tonight, 7:30 Eastern here on LSN against Fairfield. As Arant sends it behind, Spencer shot blocked. And a crease violation on UMass will go the other way.
Now, on the other hand, though, that's why you play in the CAA. That's why it's easy to recruit, because every week is a game that you can really get up for, because every game is a war. And that's what these kids came to play Division I lacrosse for. So, on one hand, it is anxiety-filled, but on the other hand, it's like, this is what we live for. So let's get after it.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more fun to play lacrosse when there's meaningful lacrosse on the line, and these teams have seen that throughout the last couple of weeks. An 8-game regular season in the CAA this year, up by 3 from the normal 5-game regular season, and it has been a battle.
Yeah.
Kitchen, Robinson, hands free, shot stopped.
What a great save by Note. Ball coming from X. He has to turn, find the ball, then locate the shot. He was all over it.
This is Grant Breo coming in transition, and UMass will settle things down. Delaware once again able to prevent any type of transition opportunity for the Minutemen, and they'll get some changes.
Yeah, that transition at midfield isn't just about running as fast as your opponent is. Everybody on the sideline has to be available. The guys have to be out of the box correctly. So it takes a team to make sure that transition goes smoothly.
This is Tobin working at X. Now Spencer with a short stick on it. Tobin, tough angle. Did he squeeze it in? He did. Kevin Tobin with his second.
And this is what happens when you have a fast, aggressive dodge at X. Coming to GLE, we bring the sliding defender, has to honor that and ball watches for a second. A quick transition to the other side, and there's just no way to get there quickly enough. As soon as he gets a step past GLE, Tobin buries it.
Kevin Tobin, we mentioned, coming off 3 goals and 6 assists. He's the reigning CAA Player of the Week after that 9 points against Fairfield. He's got 2 goals already here today. Hockman tried to catch his stick with the ball in it. Ground ball by Eisenstadt, and a face-off win for UMass.
Hockman's doing a good job matching the hand speed of Bravado on the whistle right now. That was the one thing that I thought Bravado would have an advantage today, and it hasn't been the case, so kudos to him. And then when you add the element of what Hockman's best at, which is tough ground ball, 50-50s, it's going to be a successful day. Now, Delaware does have a couple different options, including the freshman Premtaj, who's come in and done a great job for them. So I'm interested to see how long of a leash do they give Bravado, because he is one of the greatest face-off guys in Delaware history. How long do they give him time to figure it out?
Delaware was calling for a failure to advance. It may have been over the 60-second mark of that shot clock before UMass got it over midfield. However, Delaware gets the stop anyway, so I guess you can say ball don't lie in this situation.
Yeah, justice.
And the Blue Hens get possession. Off some of these face-offs, it's been so kind of hectic that I think it's been tough to figure out when exactly the shot clock needs to start. It should not start until one team gains possession.
Yeah, and I remember when the shot clock was introduced, the NCAA Rules Committee, as they're well known for, tried to make it a little bit more harder than it needed to be. You know, a certain amount of time to get it out of the box and a certain amount of time to get it over the line. Then when do we just make it one single shot clock, which makes it a lot easier for the officials for sure.
Nice. Cause turnover here by UMass. They look to scoop up the ground ball, and they do. Here comes Jake Dulac and company. Billy Philpott splits two. Nice job by the Blue Hens to get back. This is what we were talking about at the beginning there. You had Nick Jessen, an offensive midfielder, and we were talking with Coach DeLuca for Delaware about that. And he's like, look, I don't care who you are as a midfielder. You just get back. If you are on a guy and you got it, don't worry about subbing. You get back, you stop UMass in transition, and then if you have a chance to get the subs, that's when you start moving.
Yeah, and I think sometimes because lacrosse, just like any team sport, does have specialized spots, I think we forget that a lot of these Division I offensive middies played both ways in high school, and they're capable of playing defense. And because we want to rest the tread on their tire, they never really do it. So I think Coach DeLuca's taken the right approach there. Just get in. You're an athlete. Like, we'll figure it out.
We've got a flag down. It came around midfield. So Delaware will go man up for the second time today. We already saw them cash in on the man up in the first minute of the game. It's a Blue Hens unit. Only at 27%, 12 of 43, I guess now 13 of 44. 32nd extra man opportunity for Delaware here, now down 3-2. Game somewhere here in the middle.
Yeah, got him up around the neck with that wrap check.
And quickly, a crease violation, just a lack of awareness, of field awareness there for the Blue Hens, and gives it back.
Man, in a big game like this, just running through the crease, that'll give a coach an absolute heart attack. Like, that's just something we can't do when you're in a big game like this. You get a man-up golden opportunity.
So UMass kills off the rest of that 32nd man-down situation, and now Jeff Trainer and company even strength on offense. Trainer's got a short stick. Beats his man. Trainer switches to the right hand, sends it wide.
I'll tell you what, I will never probably see Trainer miss that shot ever again. Delaware is lucky. That was way too easy for a goal scorer as prolific as that to just run straight to the goal.
You see the speed and athleticism of Jeff Trainer. The guy very rarely leaves the field.
Yeah.
Devin Spencer has his man hung up. Make it 4 straight for UMass. They're up by 2.
This is the third time UMass has scored pushing GLE on the left-handed side of the cage. This time it's just a beautiful roll dodge at the right time. That spot's open, man. They've driven to that side of the cage 3 times now, and the result has been the same every time.
Kevin Tobin with the pair, Spencer with 1, Billy Philpott with 1, and after going down 2-0 in this game, UMass has come roaring back. Hockman, another face-off win.
Yeah, what Hockman's doing a better job of, and you're seeing it all across college right now, is guys are realizing on the face-off that there's no longer this rotation grind. So instead of kicking your feet back and allowing yourself to get countered, as soon as he makes impact, Hockman's just ripping the ball straight out. And that's exactly what you saw Jake Falk do with success against UVA last week. And guys are all catching on now across the country as they get better at these new standing rules.
It's Billy Philpott with it top of the box. Gets a screen on the run, stopped by Kilkiri. Delaware trying to get something going in transition the other way. That pass all the way through, and it'll be a turnover. But it comes to the end of the quarter. So a late chance there for the Blue Hens comes up empty. What a run for UMass to end the first quarter. They went down 2-0 here on the road, but UMass in need of a win to solidify a conference tournament berth. On a run to end the first. They lead by 2 after 1. UMass went down early in this game, but it's been all Minutemen since it was 2-0 Delaware. They lead 4-2 as we get ready to start the second quarter here from Delaware Stadium at Newark. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you. And Greg, Zach Hockman for UMass, the face-off man, has been terrific so far, winning 5 of 7 draws we've seen.
Yeah, and we mentioned it last quarter. He's good after impact on the right hands. He's going to pull it out right away. He's not going to mess around with it and rotate and all the other nonsense. Gets it right out and then go.
That ground ball scooped up by Jason Sider for Delaware. And so it's a face-off win for the Blue Hens, and they'll get the first possession of the second quarter.
And face-off guys watching this at home, you saw a difference in that one. After he made impact, he took a step back with his right foot, dropped his butt. So when he flung it out, there was no control. You'll also notice Delaware has made an adjustment on their wing now, so they're taking that exit away. So now he's going to have to adapt and try to pull the ball back to a defensive exit.
Continues to be a cat and mouse game there at the X. Long range shot sent wide.
That was really long range.
Distance. Here's the freshman Matt Accioni, one of 2 Accioni twins in the starting midfield for Delaware. Both he and his brother Cam have had big games at times this year. This is Ty Kurtz. Now Kitchen. A Tour-Time nominee. 20 seconds of the shot clock. Pass comes all the way through. Kept alive here for the Blue Hens. Pass was
Delaware
forced in there.
Forcing the crease, and it's just not there. UMass being super disciplined about them throwing that ball inside.
They did get lucky. We just got a hold call that will keep the Blue Hens with possession and a fresh 80 seconds on the shot clock. From the wing, shot deflected on its way to the cage. Kitchen will just box out to make sure he keeps possession along the end line.
Pay attention to the slides on this. UMass is doing a great job. As soon as the slide comes, there's no doubt about where the recovery is. So there's never any guarantee that if you can make someone slide, there's going to be an open man.
Robinson, he has been the man today for the Blue Hens. He's got a hat trick, all 3 goals for Delaware.
This is a great take off the wing. Come underneath. No slide. Stick it. That is a very tough decision for a slide man. When you get beat low, it is hard for the slide man to decide, is it worth me stepping out there and leaving X wide open? And he was slow to play, and Robinson made him pay. And it's interesting, Trav, when we've done these CAA games, it feels like every game is about who wins how many quarters. So I wouldn't, UMass won the first quarter, and now Delaware, I wouldn't be surprised to see them put 3 or 4 in a row now and win the second quarter, and that's how these CAA games go.
They have been back and forth battles throughout. Another face-off win for Hervada. So another chance for this offense of Delaware. The first midfield unit of Accioni, and Mark Bita in there. Bita from the far wing. Behind the Kitchen. Accioni finds his brother. Jump shot, and that one goes. Cam Accioni cashes in, and we're tied up at 4.
It's great ball movement. A little hitch as that slide man's flying out at you. Hitch. And then you get your jump shot down the alley. And that's textbook. I mean, you'll see Deemer class will talk about this all day long. Getting that little hitch. Great placement on the shot. Got a new game now.
Cam Accioni coming off a career best 5 goals last week in the 16-8 victory over Towson. Reigning CAA Rookie of the Week, and he's the only guy other than Mike Robinson to score so far for Delaware. So Hockman able to respond after back-to-back face-off wins for Delaware. And he gets UMass in possession if they can get it to the offense here. Terrific job by the Blue Hens, just making life miserable for UMass.
You do not see this often where UMass gets stifled in transition on rides, and Delaware's doing a great job of beating them at their own game. The cool thing about it, too, what's impressive is Delaware's not getting caught up on having to then turn it into an immediate goal. They just get the ball back, and now they'll do their thing.
Kitchen streaking in. Big hit in front by Eisenstadt. Rebound is loose again. Tui with the ground ball. Now Trainer a chance to go for UMass. Skip pass across. Tui thought about that with the long pole, and now he decides differently. His eyes light up for the eyes light up for the long pole sometimes.
Oh yeah, as soon as they cross midfield too. I was gonna say, we've seen a few instances now of Delaware really forcing that crease, and they have the sticks to do it, but UMass has been so disciplined and they're putting bodies down. If there's anything I learned playing UMass in my playing career, do not be stuck in the crease because you're gonna get put down.
Gabriel Prosic on the crease. The other end, he has Charlie Kitchen matched up with him. The attackman for Delaware is stuck on defensively here, matching up against the stellar junior in Prosic. This is something you don't see every day. Philpott cashing. They got Kitchen stuck in that two-man game. Really heads up by Philpott, and he's got his second.
Yeah, this is heads up. I think people always say, oh, an attackman stuck on D. He's athletic. It's just the two-man communication that those attackmen are not going to be privy to. So he's not going to hedge on that. He's not going to slow play it. He's going to stay with his man, and setting a screen up top is brilliant, clearing out that wing. You see him right here, just, oh, we're switching, right? And that's his job to call that out. The LSM had no idea what's going on. So really smart play, instant offense for UMass.
I'm glad you made the point about the athleticism, because you saw Kitchen. He was able to body up Prosic when he tried to dodge him, and that was the great second move by Prosic. He said, okay, I can't beat him, so why don't we set a pick and get somebody else open? And it's exactly what they do. Yeah,
and I think, like we were talking in the pregame, shocked that Kitchen didn't get picked up in the PLL draft. I think he was worried if I played too well down here, I might find myself as a short stick D mid, get invited to a PLL camp. So maybe I should chill out a little bit.
We were saying, I have a feeling Kitchen may find his way into a camp somewhere in the PLL if he would like to.
You better.
A Ron stepped out opportunity, and the freshman scores. 19th goal of the year, back-to-back for UMass. They're back up 2.
This is CAA ball, baby. Punch and counter punch. They're finding success, dodging from up top, moving that ball quickly. The adjacent isn't there, and there's a little confusion about who should be coming from the crease on this. That's a really far slide for that pole. So they're doing a great job of spreading the field wide and banging the ball really quickly.
Dylan Aron, the guy who stepped in his freshman year out of New Hampshire and has made an impact right away, really burst onto the scene immediately for UMass. Has kind of gone through a bit of a cold stretch at times in the middle part of the season, adjusting to the college game, but he has been just as good as advertised. Everything UMass could have wanted. What a ground ball win by the Minutemen.
Wow, what a play.
I think that was Tobin.
I was gonna say, that had to have been a Tobin. That was some serious quick athleticism right off the floor there.
He may have gone Superman to grab the ground ball and then move it along.
That was great stuff.
Got a long pull on. Trainer, shot deflected, and it's scooped up here by Delaware. Blue Hens come the other way, now finding themselves back down 2. Back in 4th battle we have here in the first half. Everything you could have wanted.
Yeah, and you know what? A good way to get an offense as stellar as Delaware's off their game is by putting goals in yourself on the other end. So now, instead of Delaware feeling like they can just kind of sling it around and do their thing, they might get a little bit more white-knuckled, be a little bit more diligent about what they're doing, and now they're going to overthink. So they got to be careful about that. Just keep playing their game. It's real early.
Kitchen. Back out top to Accioni. Swings it across. Robinson stopped by Note. Matt Note now up to 5 saves in the first half.
Yeah, don't let the goalie play fool you. The score fool you. The goalie play has been fantastic so far on both ends.
That was something we talked about with Coach Ben DeLuca, especially with Matt Note. We've seen at times this year when he, and even last year in the shortened season, when he catches fire, he can be one of the hottest goalies in the country.
Yeah, he can turn a game on its head with his play.
Philpott gets free. Bounce shot stopped by Kilkiri. Must have heard us talking about his counterpart.
Yeah. He said, all right, I'll see your note, and I'll raise you a crease bounce save.
Look out for Owen Grant coming the other way. Loose ball, picked up in front by Jackson Subak.
These are missed opportunities. When you have an offense this potent, don't take the chance in that transition. Just get it to the guys who need it. Get off the field. Give your offense a chance. It's not like this offense can't handle 6-on-6 situations, so get caught up in these types of games sometimes when the energy's there.
So past the midway point of the second quarter, UMass back up by 2, and now with the ball. Got Zach Kearney on there in the midfield, along with Jeff Trainer. Full head of steam. Trainer sends it now behind. Quick pass, Spencer, a little too high for him. And a ground ball scooped up by Joe Spears. UMass really dropped back quick here. The Blue Hens get the possession back after his stop. Jessen, along with Justin Scott and Kyle Kavinsky, second midfield on for the Blue Hens. Kitchen, no look. Good ball movement. Kitchen, backside, stopped by Note. That was a
Tell you what, man,
terrific
at
look.
times this Delaware offense reminds me of like the Golden State Warriors. They have a whole bunch of shooters, but they just want the guy who has the most open look to get it. It's really cool to watch.
Nice handle by Kitchen to keep that alive, looking for the skip pass. Kitchen. Got a fresh 80 on that save, so still plenty of time on the shot clock for the Blue Hens.
I am so impressed with UMass's rotation and their talk on defense.
Robinson to Kavinsky, step down, another save by Note. And Jackson Subak just cleared out on the crease. And that's gonna give this, I think, back to Delaware.
Man, you just don't need that. You just played 160 seconds of awesome defense. Your goalie just made a fantastic save. Ugh.
Jackson Subak, by the way, was the 16th overall pick in the NLL draft here this past fall by the Philadelphia Wings. Those are plays that indoors sometimes you get away with. not going to get away with it here on the field.
Not only will you get away with it indoor, it's encouraged. So he'll be fine, but just not right now.
Hopes to play not too far up the road here from Newark in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience, Philly fans will love that. Just
100%.
UMass fans don't need it right now.
So another fresh 80 seconds for Delaware. UMass has dropped into a zone here. Blocked in front. I think that was Ryan Fitzpatrick who wore that. Off the post. Delaware just can't buy one. Nice job by Matt Cadigan in transition as well. Opportunity in transition, rebound. Kilkiri with the stop. That was an excellent defensive possession by UMass.
Yeah, I mean, in order to keep up with Delaware, you have to fly around and you have to get serious communication. And we talked about a windy day. Not being able to do that, it's really tough. So it's really impressive. These guys all know where they need to be at all times.
Tobin gets a screen, a stop by Kilkiri. End-to-end action here in the latter stages of the first half. Delaware looking to answer. They had pulled into a tie game at 4-4. However, UMass responding with back-to-back goals to take a 6-4 lead as we're now under 3 minutes to go with the Blue Hens in possession. Cam Accioni finds his brother Matt. Ty Kurtz shot high.
Man, it's crazy because it's not like this is a shooting gallery. Like, they have offense that's moving really well and they're passing it, but UMass is always getting a stick on the shot. The note is always clear to see what's going on. It's relentless.
Kitchen back out top. Now Robinson, already a hat trick in this one. His shot is stopped by Note. But he somehow gets the ground ball back. Oh, just off there to Accioni. Here comes Trainer.
Ooh, I was going to say, don't be surprised if UMass uses the whole 80 seconds here, but looking a little dicey down there right now.
Never mind. Now they'll settle things down. As we have a whistle. There's a flag down in the far corner. It will go against Delaware, so a man-up opportunity for UMass here for the first time today. 41% on the season on the extra man. As I don't know if we have a look, maybe right there.
Yeah, it's tough to see.
So 30-second man up for UMass. Tobin triggers for Max. It's on Ty Kurtz, or excuse me, Reed Kurtz, brother of Ty, the defensive end. And Prosic just took his eye off of that pass, and another missed opportunity for one of these teams in the man up. This time it's UMass turning it over. Kevin McCormick, still plenty of time to get it over midfield, and he does. Good pressure out there by Adam Toohey, and Ben DeLuca for Delaware will take a timeout here late in the first half, keeping possession with 1:26 to go. Remember, this is just game 1 of 2 here tonight on LSN. Coming up 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Lax Sports Network. The second game of our CAA Game of the Week doubleheader. Fairfield looking to close out the season with the victory, taking on a Hofstra team that really could use a win trying to get one of those final spots in the CAA tournament. It's Fairfield and Hofstra, 7:30 Eastern, just after the end of this one right here on LSN. So, Greg, with Delaware, we've seen Matt Note kind of catch fire a bit here in the second quarter. He's now up to 8 saves. We talked to Ben DeLuca. He said there was a strategy in trying to figure out how to keep him cool in terms of goal. What do you think Coach DeLuca is saying to his team here in the final minute 26 of the half?
If I'm Coach DeLuca, I'm saying, look, everything we're doing is fine. We're getting the ball movement. We're getting the shots. And the tough thing for a coach is when your offense is technically working, but the goalie's coming up hot, you basically are saying you got to keep shooting. Now, there's certain spots where I'm sure Coach DeLuca is probably trying to tell them, maybe low off hip or whatever, low off stick side, whatever. But to be honest, I'm more just concerned with the UMass defense and how incredible they've been rotating. Delaware is running a stellar offense. It looks crisp, it looks fast, but UMass is just there on every step. So for Coach, you might want to put an extra wrinkle in, maybe a backside mambo screen. Like we saw, UMass went to a zone real quick to catch their breath. Their zone was as good looking as their man-to-man. So for Coach, I think it's just about continue to execute. They'll start to drop. The goals will start to fall.
Something in talking to Coach DeLuca about this game that stood out to me, he made it a point at saying nobody on our roster has beaten UMass. UMass has won 3 straight in this series, and there is nobody on this Delaware roster that has beaten the Minutemen. And so this is a big win for Delaware to try to get, despite the fact that they're comfortably in the conference tournament. They're going to play next week. This is a big opportunity for the Blue Hens. Accioni, there is a good chance. Matt Accioni with his first, and it's a 1-goal game.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need a bounce to go your way so you kind of believe again, right? It's really easy as a team when you start to doubt yourself. We're doing everything right, but it's not working. Maybe our strategy's wrong. What an awesome bounce pass. What a great look on the backside. And now Coach DeLuca, when they come off the field, see, I told you, just keep doing what we're asking of you, and it'll work. I can't tell if that was on purpose or if he was trying to feed the backside of the pipe. But either way, he's going to nod and pretend like he did it on purpose. That's what's important.
Yeah, Mark Bita with the bounce pass assist. He will 100% in film. And what an individual effort there by Matt Cadigan. He went yard sale on Hervada. But Delaware ends up with the ground ball. Sider moving it forward. Still loose. What a battle.
Wow.
Blue Hen ball.
This is awesome. Blue Hens are beating UMass at their own game. Tough ground balls off the face-off. And to be honest, if you were watching this game without a scoreboard at the bottom, it would be tough if you tuned in at any part of this game to say, I bet you Delaware's down by a goal. Because they've been playing really well. They've been winning the tough ground ball battles most of the time here, especially in the second quarter. But UMass has just been more proficient on their shooting.
Another timeout by Delaware using their second and final one of the half. They can hold for one here in the final 34 seconds. Trying to go into the half with either down by 1 or in a tie game here. Delaware got off to a good start in this game, Craig, thanks to none other than Peterborough, Ontario's own Mike Robinson. Scored the first 3 goals for the Blue Hens.
Yeah, in the game of lacrosse, you're going to hear that phrase a lot because of the Peterborough guy coming up big on offense. But yeah, and like we talked about, getting it done multiple ways. Off of a pass, off of a loose ball. He's got the athleticism and the IQ, and he's also got, he can just pinpoint where this ball's going to go. Off of a dodge. He's a well-rounded offensive player, and he's part of this incredible offensive machine that when you're UMass, who's been playing great defense, you're worried. You're worried that this offense at any point, especially if Hervada is winning these faceoffs, they could explode for 6 goals in a quarter if they wanted to. So you got to continue to be efficient on your clears and make sure you're sticking it when you can if you're UMass on offense, because this offense is scary with guys like Robinson.
Robinson, 3+ goals. You see there, 9 of the 11 games so far. As Charlie Kitchen will trigger things in from the wing. It was quite the embellishment of the jump fake pass there by Kitchen. 15 seconds to go now. Kitchen, little two-man game, and X is stopped by Note in front. Robinson with 9. His shot hits the pipe. Flag down. So with 6 seconds left to go in the half, we're going to have an extra man for Delaware.
On the list of things that give you a massive migraine as a head coach, a cross-check penalty with 6 seconds left in the half is definitely in the top 5.
And it's Jeff Trainer, senior leader, who draws the penalty. It was a great two-man game in front, and here it comes, trying to lay the hit as Robinson was trying to come across and score one late.
And you can see how quickly they can run that two-man game. All Trainer did was stick his stick out, and Kitchen found the backside pass.
And so Kitchen will hold on to it for Delaware. They'll bring 54 seconds of a man-up opportunity, and they will get the ball to start the third quarter. So a penalty that could end up being costly for UMass, but for the time being, the Minutemen with a 1-goal lead at the break. What a back and forth first 30 minutes we had here at Delaware Stadium. Delaware struck first, they led 2-0. UMass then scored 4 in a row. Back and forth we go. We got ourselves a 1-goal game, a big one in the CAA. We'll be back for the third quarter, but for now we send you back inside the LSN studios for halftime. Back at Delaware Stadium in our CAA Game of the Week, UMass on the road with a 6-5 lead as we get ready to start the third quarter from Delaware. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you as we take a look at some of these first half highlights. Greg, it was the Blue Hens off to a good start thanks to Mike Robinson and a 2-0 lead.
Mike Robinson getting it done multiple ways, dodging, catching off the pass, and also being able to get some garbage goals off the loose ball. So really getting the offense going for Delaware.
But UMass responded in a big way. They scored 4 unanswered after trailing 2-0. Big reason why was Kevin Tobin. He had 2 and 1 in the first half. Robinson answered, and then we kind of went back and forth through the last 15 minutes in that second quarter.
Yeah, we are setting ourselves up for a heck of a last 30 minutes here. A typical CAA game, punch for punch, and we're going to see who comes out on top.
Not pictured in that highlight montage, 9 saves by UMass goalie Matt Note. That was big considering Delaware's offense really seemed to be clicking. They just couldn't cash in a couple opportunities. One of the reasons that it's 6-5 UMass. However, Delaware starts with the ball, no face-off, and a man-up opportunity here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, when you have the ball at possession during the end of the quarter, when there's a man up or man down, you get the start, no face-off. So the way the face-offs have been battling back and forth, it's probably a great luxury to have right now.
So the Blue Hens on the man up, looking for their second extra man goal today. Scored in the first minute of the game. There was a penalty, and they were able to cash in to score to make it 1-0. Here looking to tie the game. Ty Kurtz kind of stuck in his stick, but Robinson there to clean it up. 17 seconds left on the extra man. Pass a little off for Accioni. Trying to save it along the sideline. Instead, it's Eisenstadt with the ground ball. Good play by UMass, and they can kill off the final 3 seconds of this extra man. Philpott gets it across to Matthew Hill, and UMass with their first offensive possession of the third quarter.
Yeah, being able to kill that man down is huge to start off the half, especially since Delaware was creeping back.
So this UMass offense goes back to work. You mentioned Tobin, Billy Philpott also with a pair of goals in that first half. This is Mike Tobin. Had an assist in the first 30 minutes. Matched up against a short stick. Jeff Trainer, no, excuse me, Arant stepping down. His shot is stopped by Kilkiri. Was a laser of a pass up to midfield, but it was stolen away too much. Philpott to Arant, just high. Excuse me, that was Prosic.
Great job by a defender coming out on his hands. Prosic had to adjust his shot at the very last second, sending it high.
So good look there for UMass. Good couple of looks for UMass in the first couple of minutes of this third quarter, but still a 1-goal advantage for the Minutemen. This is Jeff Trainer. Chance to take a long run from midfield. Kearney trying to shoot it to that far pipe, and it's just wide. Back up there for Spencer. This is Dylan Arant, the freshman. Battling. Working against Reed Kurtz.
That was great defense by Kurtz.
Tobin, a sliver, and it finds the side of the cage. He already scored on one that looked like that.
Yeah, that's been there this whole game, so good job on Delaware closing the door on that option now.
Grant's pass deflected by Prosic, but Jason Sider grabs it. I think the ruling was UMass was offsides. There's an argument
he
there.
jumped about a yard past the 50 on that while he was trying to intercept that pass. Good call by the official.
So Delaware gets the possession back. Yaccioni twins and Mark Bita, part of the first midfield unit, they're on for Delaware. Kitchen for Max. Robinson on this near side, his pass deflected, looking for the skip. Bita beats his man. Bita scores. Is that a little twister?
This was a really good dodge, and it was patient. He didn't beat him with pure speed. You could tell he dodged, he hesitated, he was prepared to pull out if the slide came. No slide. He said, okay, fine. I'll have a bite.
Bita.
He actually got going to the far pipe, expecting the twister, went back to the near pipe around his hip. I mean, that just showed a lot of wherewithal and a lot of patience to be that close to the cage, taking your time.
Bita, the senior out of Bridgewater, New Jersey, with his 16th goal of the year. Senior captain for this Delaware team as UMass wins a faceoff.
It's interesting on these faceoffs, and I've seen Hockman doing it all season. He bounces in his stance, and the referee is saying set, and he's still bouncing and moving before the whistle, and he's getting away with it. And I can't believe it continues to happen.
Here comes Delaware, a turnover at midfield, and it's Charlie Kitchen. His first of the day, and the Blue Hens have a lead.
Great finish by Kitchen. Point of emphasis, transition, Delaware beating UMass at their own game. Simple finish by one of the top attackmen in the country. He is never going to miss this shot.
Started with a turnover created at midfield. Tate Wasson getting credit for the caused turnover. Moved up ahead by Ty Kurtz. He finds Kitchen, and Kitchen does the rest. That was an acrobatic play by Hervada to keep it in his stick as he went tumbling out of bounds. And this will go to UMass.
Yeah, the face-off before that, I saw Hervada's only using one exit, and he's just, instead of putting it through his legs to his wide-open wing, UMass is basically letting him win the ball to his left shoulder, and then they're closing in on him. So he needs to change his exit, or else, I mean, those acrobatics at some point is going to turn into a helmet-to-helmet collision.
UMass now down by one. As Trainer with it, and we've got an illegal screen. We're going the other way. Look out. Delaware quickly. Robinson has to track down the ground ball. This is what makes this Delaware offense so difficult to defend, because you gotta play a full 60 minutes of defense against them. We've seen it, saw it against Towson in the second half. We saw it against Fairfield a couple times in the second half. When they start hitting and they have it clicking, they are so difficult to stop. Kitchen stopped by Note.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we talked about it before. At any point, Delaware can score 5 goals in a row real quickly. So it's important UMass makes it count when they get the ball in offense.
Trainer beats his man. His stick was deflected as he tried to shoot there, but he's got the backup. So UMass keeps possession.
It's cool to see how much trust the coaches have in their offensive personnel. You know, they're never really giving these guys a red light. They're always free to make their own decisions. And there's a lot of trust on this field. So it's great to watch because it makes for great offensive and transitional lacrosse.
Philpott looking for his third, shoots wide. Billy Philpott really broke out in that shortened season last year. Had a 4-goal performance against Yale as that pass sails high. Followed it up with 4 more against UAlbany, a guy who kind of started as a defensive midfielder for UMass, more known for what he could do at that end of the field, and emerged as an offensive asset here last year for UMass. Now back for his final season on campus.
Yeah, you're right. There was a lot of guys that were starting to come into their own last year in that short season, and you felt bad. You know, I guess one of the pros of the blanket waiver is it gives these guys an opportunity to start where they left off, and he's one of them.
Beta on the wing, matched up against Philpott. Delaware likes something about this side. Robinson now. Kitchen there for the backup. 2 straight here for Delaware to start the second half. Kitchen to Robinson. Rebound there for Delaware. They keep possession. Another chance. That one hit the bar. Resets the shot clock to 80. So Kitchen and Beta will settle it down here at X. Beta, the jump shot, his second. Mark Beta gives the Blue Hens a 2-goal lead. Just great patience here by the senior, matched up against Billy Philpott.
And that's great defense.
Yeah.
What else can you ask for? And a very rare, you know, miss by, you know, I'm at a loss for words because everything looked fine there. And it was just, you know, right spot at the right time on the rollback. And Note just didn't see it.
Hockman somehow comes out of the scrum with a face-off win. Hockman straight through, stick deflected, tried to push it in, and it's tracked down by Gabriel Prosick. Zach Hockman does have 5 goals this season.
Yeah, that almost looked like the quintessential Hockman highlight. He went for a quick rake on that to throw something different. He got the loose ball at a little scrum, and he almost turned it into a goal, and that's what he does. That's why he's the starter for UMass, because he can create transitional offense.
Hockman scored in 3 of his last 4 games. Sweeping across the shot from Prosick is saved. Kilkiri. The ball goes out of bounds off of Delaware. Surprised that shot clock didn't reset. Stays at 25.
Yeah, I guess it was deflected. I thought it went off the keep.
Trainer. Tobin. Step down shot for Kearney is high. Now just 8 seconds to shoot. Spencer has to go in a hurry. Prosic somehow got that shot off.
Delaware has stepped their game up defensively. They are rotating faster. They're doing a much better job on the two-man game, staying with their screens, talking through the picks. And even on that great offense through X back up top for a step-down shot, there was a rotation, and the second guy was there on the hands of the shooter right away. So if that's how Delaware is going to play defense, it's going to bode very well for them in the second half.
Justin Scott gets it across. And now to the offense. This Delaware attack unit, we talk so much about them, but when you see the numbers, it gives you some perspective. All three guys are in the top 30 in the country in Kitchen, Kurtz, and Robinson in goals per game. The only other school that has that is Maryland. It's pretty good company to keep.
And we mentioned in the first quarter, that right there is the only time this offense is stifled, is when one guy tries to do a little too much. They don't need to. They have 6 absolute studs out there at all times. So the one dodge and pass, keeping the ball hot to the easiest guy to shoot, is how this team can put up crazy numbers. They're going to do UMass's job for them if they try to dodge through, 2 or 3 slides.
Kurtz with a great ground ball there at midfield. And he gets it to Kitchen and company. Delaware gets the possession back. How about Mark Bita, a guy who was actually an attack player for Delaware for a good portion of his career. However, when you bring in Ty Kurtz and Mike Robinson here in the last couple of seasons, he's been bumped to more of a midfield role, but he's accepted that and now thriving here as a senior.
Yep. You go to these schools, and when you play for a coach like DeLuca, he has won everywhere he's been. He knows what he's doing, so you trust him. And when you trust your coach and you buy into the culture, your college career usually works out well.
Kitchen, back out top to Scott. Another save by Note, but another fresh 80 as Robinson picks up the ground ball.
The last time UMass was stuck on D for a really long time, they transitioned into a zone to give their players a little breather, and they did a great job in that zone. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if there's another reset of the shot clock.
This is Scott again. Back over to Robinson off the pipe. Another ground ball here for Delaware. It was Kurtz this time. Get the feeling this could be a big momentum shift either way, depending on how this possession ends.
Yeah, I'm literally on the edge of my seat looking at my screen. I can't wait to see how this possession ends, because you're right. I feel like it's massive.
Delaware a chance to go up 3, about their 3rd chance at this possession. Already have 2 shot clock resets. Bita matched up against Jeff Trainer. Already 2 goals in this quarter for Mark Bita as we tick down toward 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. UMass has been shut out offensively in the quarter. Accioni feeds, Kurtz, backhand, stopped by Note again. However, another whistle after the save by Note. Trainer, I believe, was trying to clear things out, and UMass is going to go man down and have to play more defense.
That's crazy. After such a great job on D.
Happened before that. I didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I didn't see. Trainer gets called on the slash. I didn't see where Trainer factored in. It didn't happen, obviously, in that shot we just saw. So another man-up opportunity for Delaware. Kurtz to Kitchen. Back over to Robinson. 3 attackmen across the top of the box. So crisp. Robinson fakes. Robinson, another save! 13 saves for Matt Note for UMass.
Wow. If you're a high school defender, you better find out when UMass's lacrosse camp is this summer. They are in exactly the right place all the time. Their man down is not even flinching. They are rotating quickly. When you make an offense this good have to dodge in order to get to the cage on offense, and even then your goalie saves it, it's absolute textbook. It's beautiful to watch.
Matt Note is single-handedly keeping UMass in it here on this possession. As we have another penalty on UMass. It's an unsportsmanlike call. You can see Greg Cannella, he's frustrated. So this is going to be a 2-man advantage for Delaware. In case it wasn't difficult enough to play defense against Delaware.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, like, okay, the 6-man defense, they're too good. All right, 1 penalty. Their man down's awesome. Let's see if we can get a goal with 2 men down. I don't know what the call was. It was unsportsmanlike, but it's weird that it says 25 seconds that they're 2-man advantage. I don't know what the call's for.
So there's the extra penalty's a minute. So they're up 2 men here for 15 more seconds.
Gotcha.
It's 6-on-4, and then we'll have another 30-some seconds of the extra penalty.
They can't even get skip passes through with a 2-man advantage right now.
Trying to squeeze it through, it's turned over. How about UMass's defense?
Wow. That's incredibly impressive. I don't care if you're playing against parking cones. To go 2 men down after playing defense for like what seems like 2.5 minutes already, to force a bad pass. I mean, that sideline is lit up right now.
Trying to get it over midfield. Here is Eisenstadt. He does, but he turns it back over. Still 12 seconds on the extra man here for Delaware, so they're still 6-on-5. But no rush for the Blue Hens in the final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Back to even strength now.
They did all that work. Huge stop. Eisenstadt is not going to want to be in the film room tomorrow after that play.
Delaware again on offense. Beta sends it behind now in 9 seconds. Kitchen dodges the crease. He dives. In it. Wipe it off. No goal. Not a bad take here for Kitchen with 5 seconds left, but they say he stepped in the crease.
Oh, I think that left foot right before he took off.
It's going to be a tough angle to see, but
that
I think
one,
you're right.
I think right there, his left foot, if we can get another view, was what hit the line.
It wasn't the dive, it was before as he was coming on that far side. But by the way, we just got another penalty on UMass. Too many men on the field, so Delaware holds on to it again, and they will start the 4th quarter with 25 seconds of a man up and the ball with a 2-goal lead. Buckle up, folks. CAA lacrosse is always fun, and we got another 15 minutes of it here from Delaware Stadium. What a 3rd quarter for the Blue Hens and Mark Beta. He scored a pair, and the senior has Delaware up by 2. Back for the start of the 4th quarter in Newark, Delaware, and it's Delaware, the 14th ranked Blue Hens, with an 8-6 lead as we start the 4th quarter, and it's Delaware that starts with an extra man opportunity. Too many men on the field for UMass at the end of the third. So they start with the ball because they were able to hold on to possession at the end of the third. So no face-off to start the fourth quarter. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you on LSN. Kitchen, extra pass down low. And now we're back to even strength.
Just more impressive movement. When a man-down unit is doing it right, it doesn't look like they have to run around. And they're just going in and out. It looks like a foosball table. They're just kind of gliding, working off of each other, and they make it look easy. And it's not against Delaware.
No, it is not. This is one of the better offenses, not only in the league, but you could argue one of the better ones in the country, as another crease violation wipes that one off for Beta.
Even the crease is a UMass guy. This is incredible.
So after all that, they probably played 3 minutes of defense at the end of the third quarter, did UMass. They finally get a possession here. That was a possession for Delaware that included a 6-on-4 advantage, a couple of 6-on-5s. Nothing to show for it. It stays a 2-goal game. Minutemen looking for their first goal since the second quarter.
And you know what? They only really needed like 1 or maybe 2 big saves out of note on that whole thing. I mean, the defense is what really made the difference, their rotation and their discipline.
Devin Spencer dodges, caught by Tobin. Now Trainer, his shot is deflected. But he wins the ground ball. "18 seconds left on the shot clock here for UMass. Shot, that one stopped by Kilkiri. Spencer with the rebound and a fresh 80 seconds for UMass. Both defenses really bearing down.
Yeah, Delaware's definitely stepped it up in the second half on their defense.
Spencer battling. Spencer, jump shot, another save. But a whistle on the Blue Hens gives it back to the Minutemen.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure what the call was. It was great short stick defense on Delaware's part and a big save.
So UMass gets the possession back, another shot clock reset. Talked about the momentum of a UMass stop at the end of the third. This is where it comes into play. Can they cash in after a long defensive stand?
Yeah, it would be quite defeating to not come away with a goal after this, after all of that great defense and getting the ball on offense here.
Philpott on the run. Great late check there as Aron sends it wide. That was Aiden Fritz, the short stick, that got a piece. Tobin. Now Prosick. Prosick rolls into trouble. And a ground ball by Reed Kurtz. Look out for Owen Grant. He's got this ability in transition. Grant, one-handed to Robinson.
That was fantastic. That pass was awesome. You don't get a lot of long poles doing a jump, skip, one-handed, underhand pass.
Robinson pressured out by Adam Toohey. By the way, Owen Grant out of Ontario, so you know he's got some stick handling from his playing in the box game indoors.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's been one of the best caused turnover guys in the entire country, Owen Grant. Second in the land with nearly 3 caused turnovers per game.
That's a great stat, especially when you think of the ball handlers in the CAA.
Kavinsky. Scott with the left. Didn't hit the goalie or the goal, so it stays with now 16 seconds left on the shot clock for Delaware. See what Kitchen does. And that pass too high for Scott. Can UMass finally break their scoreless streak? Their last goal came with 9:40 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, it's rare to be able to play this good of defense throughout a game and not pull off a victory. So you know the defenders are on the other end of the field like, come on, O, just give us a little help. We'll do the rest.
Trainer with the left hand. His shot is wide. Race for it. And they will give it to Devin Spencer. Remember, this UMass team, a win pretty much clinches them a spot in the CAA tournament. A loss, you gotta wait and see how the rest of the weekend shapes up here in the conference. Top 4 teams in the 6-team league make the CAA semifinals next Thursday. Spencer nearly has it taken away. Good check by McCormick. Here's Grant.
That's a really big ground ball.
Can they make it pay off? 2 to shoot. Spencer in front. Somehow saved by Kilkiri, but we got a flag down.
That was an incredible save. Like, right on the doorstep. UMass can't believe it.
Kilkiri diving across to save this one.
It doesn't get any more naked than this. What a play. Through the hold, right there. Oh, man, that is awesome.
First of all, what a pass by Tobin to get that to Spencer. And then Kilkiri with a great stop. But it is a man-down situation for Delaware. Another save. Goalies came to play today.
Oh, yeah.
Now double-digit stops for Matt Kilkiri as well.
It's just been a great lacrosse game. I mean, we've seen incredible defense, great ball movement on offense, fun transition play. Both goaltenders showed up. This is CAA lacrosse. I mean, this is what we get every game.
We've had only 3 goals in the second half after it was kind of a frenetic pace at times. We got another flag on UMass. You saw the slash there. So the Blue Hens, you have a chance to eat some time off the clock here, up by 2, and then you're gonna go man up for a minute.
Yeah, and you mentioned eating up the clock here. That's why the shot clock is so huge in college lacrosse, because with 7 minutes left, guys would just sit on the ball forever. It forces a good offense to keep shooting, see? And we get goals like that.
The bounce shot goes from Cam Accioni. A little hitch and a score, and the Blue Hens have a 3-goal lead for the first time today.
We saw one of these go down the alley earlier. A good hitch to the middle. Big fan of the jump shot.
Second of the day for the Canadian Cam, and he gets to celebrate with his twin brother.
Doesn't get any cooler than that. Big game goal. Brother's got a hug.
Cam Accioni now has 7 goals in his last 2 games after the 5 last week against Towson. Hockman wins the initial face-off for UMass, and he gets them a possession. Really needed that draw.
Yeah, that was a huge win.
Trainer thought about that in transition. Makes the smart decision.
Yeah, coach is already angry at us. I don't think I'm going to take this 15-yard fadeaway.
Takeaway. What a play by Kurtz.
Wow. Great ball handles, too.
Gets it to his brother. Transition chance. Blocked in front. Jackson Subak laid the lumber, and we've got another flag down.
Oh, man, they're going to get him with an illegal body check. I don't know.
Greg Cannella doesn't agree.
And I'm shocked by that. I thought Coach Cannella would have been on board with this call.
This is going full-time served as well for a minute.
Man.
I say it was a hit up toward the head.
I'll have to see that again in real time. It was just looked like lacrosse, but.
So Subak and Matthew Hill both in the box.
Ooh, maybe that left hand was up there. Couldn't really tell from that angle.
So it's another 2-man advantage for 5 seconds. And then it is an unreleasable, now 54 seconds of a 6-on-5 for Delaware. That means that they can score multiple goals without the penalty releasing. All 45 seconds of this man-up will be served by UMass. Kitchen. Accioni. Man up has gotten a lot of work today. Kurtz to Kitchen, shot high.
And I like this approach right now. There's time to kill. We got another 50 seconds, but if the shot's there, take it. So keep moving it. Stay hot. UMass is just so good at rotating. It's just not there.
That shot sent wide by Jessen. Still 6 seconds left here on the man up. Sorry, that was Robinson on the far wing. Accioni and Kitchen don't fool anybody on the hidden ball trick, and we're back to even strength. 5:38 to go here in the game. 3-goal Delaware lead. UMass has yet to score in the second half. Led 6-5 at the break, and the Blue Hens have responded with 4 in a row as that pass finds the stick and note. Minutemen gotta go.
Yeah, and remember, Hockman is fully able to score right off of the faceoff. So they're in this thing. They have won the faceoff battle for the most part today. So they have their opportunity to get their 3 goals, but like you said, they got to go. They got to make it happen on this possession here.
Get the feeling they just need 1 to fall here.
Yeah.
See, the last time they scored 9:40 to go in the second quarter. They led 6-4 in this game. Blue Hens have scored 5 unanswered. Spencer to Philpott, step down, Kilkiri eats it up.
He's been so good all day.
Philpott makes a great play at midfield to knock it down. And this is gonna go back to UMass. Maybe not.
Yeah, I was confused as to what could possibly have been called to give them the ball, unless it was an offsides on Delaware's part.
So Blue Hens get possession. Another save by Kilkiri. He's up to 12. Note with 14. Kilkiri, by the way, now has double-digit saves in 7 consecutive games.
That's why nobody wants to play this Delaware team come tournament time. They have all the pieces to make the run, and when their goalie's hot, I mean, they're as complete a team as you're going to see.
Coming into today, 9-2 overall, 6-1 in the conference. As Kitchen's pass is low. It's an offside. Oh no, we get a push on UMass. Officials say that's why Delaware came over midfield. So loose ball push, fresh 80 seconds, and with under 3:30 to go, that's huge.
Yeah, that's devastating.
Hidden ball trick, and they pulled it off, but Accioni missed it.
Had us all fooled on that one, man.
The Accioni twins pulled an all-time hidden ball trick, a wide open net, and I believe it was Cam who just shot it wide. Oh, man. Matt Accioni sold that perfectly. He took a hard dodge down the right side, and it was Cam at the top of the box who still had it. Had a wide open cage as Note was looking at his brother, and he just missed it. And Delaware will take a timeout. We'll take it as well. It's a 9-6 Blue Hens lead, 3:19 to go. Looking to cap off a 7-1 CAA regular season. They're just a couple of minutes away. 3:19 to go in this one. The 14th ranked Blue Hens with a 3-goal lead. Just before this timeout, we saw a all-time great hit ball trick chance for Delaware. Check the Accioni twins here. It's Cam who has the ball. He fake flips it to Matt. Matt goes headed down that right side. However, the whole time our cameras nailed this. Shout out to the replay camera here, but it was Cam who just missed the open net.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Oh, what a chance that was. And the fact that how many times do you think the Twins have practiced that flip and the hidden ball trick?
Yeah, for real. And you know his brother's like, dude, we totally would have ended up on top 10, man.
You got the Sports Center top play coming up. Lax top 5, if you can cash that in. That's going to be one you may not live down.
Yeah.
So UMass is full-on pressure mode now. They got to get the ball back, down by 3 with 3 minutes to go. Note is out of the cage. Robinson tracks down the ground ball. Sends it now behind. And it's just keep away time here. Still 30 seconds to go on the shot clock for Delaware. Ty Kurtz draws a double. Now he flips it. Note tries to make a play. Robinson, somehow. Robinson, stopped by Note. Kitchen keeps it. And that's a fresh 80 seconds.
Wow. The balls are bouncing Delaware's way, and it's because they're hustling.
Mike Robinson, give him a lot of credit. He came into today with 31 ground balls. That is, for an attackman, he is a machine off the ground as UMass finally takes it away.
Well, you don't become an elite offense just by passing and shooting. It's because you give yourself those extra opportunities.
Another stop by Kilkiri, this one off the helmet. Now 13 saves. And Delaware sends it ahead. Robinson to Kurtz. And Kitchen will slow it down. Blue Hens on their way to solidifying the top seed in the CAA tournament. They'll head to Hofstra, which is the neutral site home for this year's tournament as the top team in the CAA if they can hold on here in the final minute 16. This Delaware team took UMass's best shot in the first half and they pitched a shutout in the second.
Yeah, and Coach DeLuca has been talking about, complete games, and I definitely think this is one to be excited about. You beat UMass in the transition game. You did a great job on the ground, picking the ball up in these scrums. You were disciplined, and their defense got way better in the second half. I think this is something to be very excited about if you're Delaware.
So the Blue Hens capped this season with an emphatic 16-8 win against Towson last week, and now you knock off UMass 9-6. As 2 seconds left, they send it to the corner. By the way, don't go anywhere. Coming up in about 40 minutes, 7:30 Eastern Time start on Long Island, Hofstra and Fairfield. I've got the call with Brendan McDaniels for that one, so do not miss that. Maybe get yourself a cold beverage, slice of pizza or something. I know it's pizza night in the Gorenlian household, so get a slice of pizza, cold beverage, and then come back ready to go for some more CAA action as Hofstra needs a win there against Fairfield. And this result certainly makes that game even more interesting. As there's your final. Delaware decisive in the second half. The Blue Hens win 9-6. They close the regular season 10-2 overall, 7-1 here in the conference. And they get their first win against UMass since 2016.